I'm happy to be here. I am. Um, it has been a roller coaster for the last week. I've been taking care of my sick dogs. They got kennel cough. Don't ask me how they got that, but you know, they've been going back and forth with little stomach aches and things like that. So I've been making sure that they are okay. Uh, and also getting some things together. July, July the 27th, we're going to have our Becoming Truly You experience here in Atlanta. And then we're going to branch out to Pittsburgh. And then we're going to get ready for our big event in Atlanta, which will be our Becoming Truly You event. If you don't have the book, get the book, Becoming Truly You, and get ready to have some fun. Now, the Becoming Truly You experience is all about networking, hanging out with you guys, loving on you guys, meeting you in person. And we also talk about our goals and healing and everything like that. So, that is the entire purpose of this experience. I told you guys we've been having a hard time because everybody is doing events, especially here in Atlanta, right? Outside of the sporting events, we have people because we have a lot of entrepreneurs here. Everybody is an entrepreneur every time you go out, right? You meet somebody and, they tell you they're the CEO of something, right? But what they're doing here, guys, is that, outside events are very popular. So they'll raise the prices for you to be outside and then make the inside look so crazy where you don't want to be inside, right? So in order to make it work, you got to pay more money to be outside. So again, we finally settled on a place where we were going to go, and then the lady comes back and say it's going to be $1,000 more because she didn't know that we was going to use the outside and a little bit of the inside. So it has been really stressful, but we are going to get through it, where I'm coming to see y'all and I'm coming to hang out with y'all, and I want y'all to come to Atlanta and hang out with me. Also, we got a challenge going on. If you are a business owner, I want you to go ahead and sign up for the business plan challenge. What does that mean? What we're giving away is a $5,000 investment in your business for the best business plan. If you don't win a $5,000 investment, you'll have a business plan that is ready to be reviewed by investors. You'll have a clear plan on what you are doing in your business, and you'll also learn how to pitch for investors. Okay, we planning our first business event in August. So that we'll have a team of judges, and you'll go before the judges. You'll have your idea, you'll let them know what it is, and those judges will be potential investors so that you can get more money. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because this is our next step, like I told you guys, in our Girls Leap process. My whole goal for you guys is to create this ecosystem where we're not relying on other people to go ahead and help us fulfill our dreams. We're not going to we're not going to put ourselves in a position where we are waiting on banks, and we're waiting on and waiting on other things to make things happen. The way that you become successful is you do it collectively with like-minded people who will take the chance and believe in you, right? And so we're the first ones that's going to go ahead and put our money where our mouth is, to make sure that we show you that we actually believe in you and your idea. Now, that investment, you could take it to either start your business, you could take it to refine your idea. We know it's $5,000, but we want to make sure that we put you in the room of other people, because that business plan might get you $15,000, $20,000 before the end of the night, right? Before the event is over. So you'll have a guaranteed five, and whoever else is interested, right? So I want you guys to get used to the the ideas and the habits, if you are a business owner or thinking about it, to have that mindset of how entrepreneurs think. I don't want you to think that you have to do it all by yourself. Most of the stuff requires you to get a lot of stuff done on your own, but you got to learn how to pitch. You got to learn how to talk to investors. You got to learn how to promote your idea and your vision and your plan, right? And if it's not you, give it to another woman who is in business, who wants to start a business, and let them go ahead and get that stuff done. Because once you have the plan out the way, right? The only thing you're doing is marketing yourself in the plan, right? And then a lot of people say, well, Gloria, I don't want to give away a big percentage of my company to investors, and then I have to be, accountable to them and all that. That's the beauty about having a business, because you could say what you're going to give away. You determine all of that because your plan is telling them, the investor, what it is that you're looking for, what you expect from them, right? So I'm a teacher. I'm not an investor. So I will be teaching a class about the executive summary, the financing, and the pitching. Right. The judges will be other people that I know who specialize in the areas of finance and marketing and creativity, all of that stuff. I'm not in that because I don't want to have no biases when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I think it's going to be a great event. And like I said, the most you'll walk away with is a fantastic business plan that you can pitch, right? And you never know who will be in the room. So keep your eyes open for that. You can go to the link. I believe that's the right link to go ahead and check that out and see what we're doing. So, in order for us to be able to start doing what we want to do in our life, the biggest thing that we have to do and understand is what our areas of blockage is. Okay. And let me tell you what that means. Most of us can do easy things, right? Most of us can go out and have a good relationship. Most of us really don't have, problems with money. And then some of us, it's okay. Some things are easier for others, right? So it might be easy for us to manage money and it might be not, right? But those areas that we struggle in, those areas of blockage that we have, where we feel like it's a glass ceiling for us, we have to be able to be aware of what those are and how we can break through that glass ceiling. Now, let me tell you what I mean. For myself, right? For myself, it is easy for me to get into relationships because I love love, right? Right? I learned lessons on how to conduct myself and form boundaries and do all that stuff. But I don't have no area of fear or anything when it comes to that, right? When it comes to my health, even though sometimes I got bad habits, I know when to buckle down and to get my health in order. Does it make sense? Where when it's time for me and I know my body feels different, I know when to cut stuff out and I know when to get myself in order, right? But what I struggled with the most was the area in money, right? And the reason why I struggled with the area of money is because of all the things that I learned about money when I was younger. And even though I try my best to read and to understand and to learn, there's still like a glass ceiling here, right? Let me tell you what I mean. When when I first started my first business, Glow Tech Computers, right? And this is me in college. What I did was is I used to charge, the kids like 35 bucks, 40 bucks or whatever because I didn't think that I could charge more money because we were all college students, we were all broke, right? So to me that was okay until I started doing it for businesses. And when I started doing it for businesses, I would just charge what my rent was, right? I would just charge what my car note was because I didn't understand, what my value was. But then I started to read and understand everything. And I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and go up on my prices. And then when I went up on my prices and all that stuff, and I was getting, the money that I wanted, I still had this thing where I could not go over a certain amount. And I also felt like, you know, the money that I did have, I could only make that and not more. Does that make sense? Like my mind could not expand to do more than what was happening within my circle. So when a person said to me, "Oh, you can make $1 million," I would say, "Oh yeah," but I would laugh inside because I was saying to myself, "Shit, if that ever happens, please." I would be so happy, blah blah blah. But I know that's not going to happen to me. you know uh, the way that everything is set up for me right now, I don't even know if I'll be able to reach 100,000, right? So I kept that theory in my head only because what I wanted was so far fetched for me. There was no way I can become the person that I wanted to be in order to get the amount of money that I was thinking I can get in my head. Does that make sense? And I'm only using me as an example, but you still think about your health and your relationships, right? If that's your area of blockage. Now, how do you discover your area of blockage? It's the thing that you struggle with most in your life. When you can't understand why you can't lose weight, when you can't understand if you done did this diet, that diet, all these different diets, and you still not understanding why you're not losing weight, and you come up with excuses, is because of you're big boned, or you're this is how you are genetically, or whatever excuses we come up with. We still can't figure out why we can't get to the next level. And it's the same thing with our relationships. We ask ourselves, why do we keep choosing the same person? Why does this thing keep happening to me? Right? We read in the books, we understand, about relationships. We done took the courses, we wrote everything down, right? We wrote everything down. We're practicing our affirmations, we doing all this stuff. And we still seem to hit this wall, right? And we don't understand why. And what I have to tell you is the reason why you're hitting that wall, and the reason why you are struggling, is because subconsciously you have this idea in the back of your mind that you cannot have what it is that you think you should have. And I know that sounds negative, y'all. I know it does. But think about it. In the area of money, how many times have you heard money doesn't grow on trees? You got to be able to save, what you have for a rainy day. When you get down to your last, you got to be able to have something, whatever it is that you heard, right? That's the thing that's stopping you, right? You're not the right color, so you always gonna make a certain amount of money, right? You're not the right sex, so you always gonna make a certain amount of money. And what happens is that we continuously tell ourselves this because that's the way we grew up. Our area of blockage is what we struggled with, right? When we were younger. And now that we're trying to break out of that, we can't seem to figure out why we can't get over the hump. If it's with weight, you always ate what you wanted when you were younger. Nobody said no. Nobody bothered you. You probably got teased, right? Because of your weight and all that stuff. But you go home, your mommy give you a sandwich, they give you this, they give you all these different things, and it's okay with you. It's your comfort. It's where you feel comfortable and relaxed. But then all of a sudden you understand the power of health and what it is that you as you get older, how you need to take care of yourself, right? And then all of a sudden it's a ceiling because you like, damn, why can't I make this happen? Right? Why the hell every time am I struggling paycheck to paycheck? Why can't I figure out how to eat better? And then we rationalize and we blame the cost of food is too high, even though that should say it's organic, it's not. It's because of my boss and I can't get a raise and I can't do this, right? It's because he in a relationship, he has bad character. This is this, right? So we do all of that. Where really it's here. It's right here, right? And it's hard to look at ourselves because I'm telling y'all, it's hard to look at ourselves because we can't believe that we have this area of blockage. And our ego tells us that we are better than what we think, where actuality, at the same time, when we look at our results and we look at our life and we don't see what the image that we have in our head, we get depressed. We get upset. We get mad at ourselves. We start to hate our life, right? And we think, damn, as much as I try, it's still not working out. But what I want you guys to understand is that it is not your fault. It is not your fault. You just got some areas of blockage that you got to break through, right? If you have something that you want, right? There are certain things that you have to do to get it. And there's a certain type of person you have to be to kick it all off. And that's how you break through, right? Whoever it is that you have to be, that will allow you to do what it is that you want to do so that you can have what it is that you want to have. So, Gloria, what does that mean? In the area of relationships, we'll take that. If you want to be able to have a loving, fulfilling relationship where everything is not perfect, but you guys communicate and get along and all that stuff, who do you need to be? And what do you need to do to have that? Who do you need to be? And what do you need to do to have that? Right? If your area of blockage is money, who do you need to be and what do you need to do to have more income? Now, don't go out there talking about you. You need to go break the law because that's not it, right? You have to be able to expand your mind and get different experiences. And you know, the biggest thing that we have to do that we all struggle with, the biggest thing that we have to do that we all struggle with, ladies, is we have to make a decision to be, do, and have. Because when we waver, when we go back and forth in our thought process and what it is that we want and what we don't want, that's exactly how our life is. Have you noticed that? Where you see your income rise and fall, sometimes it's good when you buckle down and you give focus, and then all of a sudden it goes down because you slacked off and all this stuff, right? When you get on a diet and you focus and you excited and you know that this is going to be a new lifestyle, but as soon as somebody asks you to come out to lunch, you see the steak on the menu and you say, damn, I'll go ahead and try it. I'll go ahead and burn it off later, right? The biggest thing for us is making a decision because decisions determine the course of our life. We know that. You know that. Every decision you make, every time you are faced with a crossroad, you have to be able to make decisions on which way you're going to go. Most of the time, you feel like you have no choice, but you always have a choice, right? So when you're talking about your areas of blockage, you got to be able to make a decision that you are not going to accept whatever that you are struggling with in your life no more, right? Because as we know, that's how change happens, right? When we get to a point where there's no more, or or some trauma happens to us, or we have no choice, right? Because our back is up against the wall. But you can choose, right? Everything in your life is a how, a why, and a what. Think about it. Everything in your life is a how, a why, and a what, right? So, for example, if I take something like, let's say, a salad, right? So we say the how is the salad, the what is the ingredients, right? And the why is because it's going to make me feel healthy. If the why is strong enough, that's why everybody talks about a why. You know that, right? That's why everybody says if you have a strong enough why, you'll be able to endure the what and the how. That's the whole purpose of that. If you didn't understand why, people will ask you, why are you doing this? And why it's important to you. Because if you don't have a strong enough why, the how and the what won't make no sense because you'll slack off. You're not going to do it. You're going to be bouncing up that glass ceiling over and over and over again. Right? And it could be negative. Right? It doesn't matter. The how can be a right hook. Right? The what can be a punch. And the why could be because that was getting on my nerves. That's why I did that. So, any area of blockage in your life, you'll know what it is because it's the thing that you most talk about, it's the thing that you most struggle with, it's the thing that bugs you all the time. The way that you break out of that glass ceiling is you have to be able to ask yourself, who do I have to be in order to do what I need to do in order to have that. Do you get it? The reason why you have a glass ceiling is because the current you is not enough to break through. Sounds harsh, but it's true. More skills, better habits, more experiences, more love, more whatever is what you need to be in order to do so you can have, right? And it's okay. It's okay for you to go back and forth with it because it takes time to learn. But what I want you to do is I want you to be aware of what your area of blockage is and ask yourself, who do I need to be? And what do I need to do so I can have that? Right? And you say, well, Gloria, if I knew who I needed to be, I would do that. Right? If I knew who I needed to be, I would do that so I can have that. And what I'm here to tell you is that that's why you have to get out there and experience what you want. Find people who have what you want and see what they're doing, right? Go out and explore. You know what's so crazy to me? I told you there's a lady who I talk to when I go visit my client's place, right? And so she has her routine. She goes to work, she goes home, uh, she chills out with the family, go to bed, get up, go to work, come home. And she's been doing this for 15 years now, right? 15 years doing the same thing religiously to the point where she takes the same route home every day. It does not matter if traffic is bad or good, she will wait. The only time that she will take a different route is if she is forced to be rerouted. Because for 15 years, everything has been the same. She even eat the same foods, right? The only thing that I believe she changed was her car within 15 years. And that's because she had to, right? When you look at your life and what you're doing in your area of blockage, and you're asking yourself, why the hell is things not changing? Look at your routine. What is it that you're doing? How are you showing up in the world to have what you want? If you're doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result, that is called what? Insanity, right? If we having all these different experiences and we are still not where we want to be, it'll come. Because what you're doing is you're learning, you're exploring, you're putting yourself out there, you're figuring out what you like, what you don't like, right? And that's okay. But you have to be able to know and understand that you have to be a certain kind of person to do different things to have what you want. There's no way of getting around that. There's no way. No way. No way. No way. No way. If we meet, when we meet, and I ask you, you know, what amazing things you did today? Give me one besides waking up, right? What would you say? Are you going around in this cycle, just going around, singing your shoulda, coulda, wouldas, right? Because your area of blockage is stopping you from pushing through. Or are you out there trying to take a chance, right? Ask yourself, how would the new me do this to get that? For your job, how would the new me send this email so I don't seem like I'm being aggressive? How would this new me, the thought in your mind, buy groceries so that I can start to live a better life? How would the new me start to manage my money so I can do what I want to do for myself and family so I can have more money, more wealth? You get what I'm trying to say? And it takes practice because it's something that we are not used to. We are not used to. We are so engulfed in what society has told us, what your mama, your daddy, and everybody done told us, where our minds, without going crazy, sometimes just block it out and come up with all these excuses just to keep us safe. And I know it and I understand it because I experience it all the time. But we have to be able to be aware and know and understand that the areas of blockage we have, those limitations and things that we struggle with, we can break out of it if we continue to ask ourselves, who do we need to be to do what we want to do, to have that? You get it? You get it? And I don't want you to beat yourself up because you don't. This is one thing that I don't want you ladies to do is internalize it and think it's your fault, because it's not. It's not. It's how you grew up. It's the experiences that you experienced thus far. It is the life that you live thus far. Have gratitude in that. Appreciate where you are. Just understand and know that that's not where it stops. You get it? That's not where it stops. That's all. This relationship is not the end all be all. The money that you have is not the end all be all. The health that you have is not the end all be all. At any point in your life, you can change, but it requires you to make a decision. And this is the last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to let you go, right? I was writing in my journal yesterday because you guys know I go through all these emotions. Like, I journal every day. I put the date up there. That was yesterday, right? And I always, go through these different emotions because I too go back and forth. But the thing that helps me, and that's what I told you guys about the power of journaling, is that I write notes to myself. Because when I'm feeling a certain way, when I'm feeling that I'm not good enough, I'm not working hard enough, I don't understand why I can't break through a certain point, I don't understand why I procrastinate and chill and all that stuff, I need to remind myself of who I am. Be grateful for what I've accomplished. And the only way that you can do that is by writing it down. You get what I'm saying? So I wrote myself a note uh, right here, this little note right here. Because after I went on my rant, right? I went on my rant. I just said to myself, I said, make a decision. Make a decision, right? I said to myself in my rant, I said, I feel like I'm fighting so many years of old habits that I can't seem to shape or stick with new ones. This is me. I said, I don't want to experience some kind of trauma to change. I want to realize that my thoughts and feelings, I want to realize my thoughts and feelings and start making changes on my own that I know will stick. That's me talking to me, right? Because at this particular point, I'm battling with my mind, y'all. I'm battling with my mind. And I'm battling with my mind because my mind is being that critic we talked about, right? My mind is trying to tell me that that glass ceiling is all I can hit. You understand what I'm trying to say? And you have to be able to write it down so that you can see. And when you see, I just wrote a note to myself when I got up this morning. Make a decision. Make a decision about your health, your work, and your relationships. Because that's the only way you'll be able to see change. That's what I wrote, right? That's it. That area of blockage you have to be able to become a different person. And it's not easy, but I'm telling you, if you work it, it will work. It will work if you work it. It's not a process that you would enjoy because you battling with years and years and years and years of who you are. But I promise you, you will be able to really start to get in the habit of it and you will start to see your life change, right? All right, I gotta go. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow where we're gonna talk more about, you know, what's your personal truth, right? And we're gonna talk about more of fulfillment. Are you really being fulfilled with what it is that you're doing, or what you're going through, or what it is that you want? Are you really being fulfilled? Because a lot of people think they are, but they're really just going through the motions because of what they think they should have.